And I'm putting, hello and welcome to this week's platform meeting. It's February the 18th. Let me paste the URL for the agenda into the SUMO channel and we can get started. There you go. All right, we have a few items from last week. Let's go through them quickly. One is how to start thread informing localizers about string updates. Yes, that happened, right? Yep.
It's linked there. It has a very informative title, so I hope people are going to use it.
All right, that sounds good. And the next one, the other one was Mithman to ask for SUMO tools access for Madalena. Are you clear on that?
Hey, Mithman.
Yeah, we talked to the bug with C, our web helper, and I gave Madalena and Michal instructions for how to do that. Did you guys get that set up?
I still have to follow up on that because I changed computers and apparently my VPN doesn't work anymore. But yeah, everything is fine.
Yeah, that sounds good. By the way, Michal, thank you, Mithman, for doing that. This is really helpful. And now we know actually how to go about that for anybody else on the team. By the way, Michal and Madalena, if you need, if you want to query the database, in most cases, I will have written the query already. There is it's on a website. I'll send you a link to that. They're all public. So if you need that, you can just take one from those pre-written queries and just change the dates or whatever else you need. All right, the last item here, Kadir to file a bug for the color to change the color scheme on the KPI dashboard for the retention chart. Actually, I just did that. So yeah. All right. Then we have a roundtable. It's currently empty. Is there anything we should be talking about? Any last minute items anybody wants to bring up? If not, we will move on to the
We don't have any progress on the whole CLAR focus thing, do we? No word from Javon?
Oh, no, actually he hasn't gotten back to me about that. So this is a good one.
Ping him weekly. Please ping him again.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm probably spelling the name wrong. I have to look it up.
GAV, I'll correct it.
Yeah.
Okay, vielen Dank. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's also about URL structures and all that stuff. Right? It's not necessarily legal, but of course it
As far as I know, legal
creates
thing.
realm. Okay.
Anyway, all right. So then we have our roadmap items. The first one, the unified AAQ. Last week I said that we were missing some of the events that we need in order to assess whether this is actually working better than the old AAQ. So Brittany is currently working on that. I don't think that's done yet, right? Ms. Monosmos, feel free to chime in. No, I think that's not done yet.
Muting sucks. Yeah, no, it's not done yet. She's still looking at that.
Ah, there's the bug. Okay. I'm pasting the bug in here so everybody else can also follow along. Okay, then the other one is the KPI dashboard. So we already have the retention chart. We talked about that last week. And this week we were planning on having the customer set, the CSAT for our contributors charted. We talked about this on Tuesday, and I think Rayon said he would be done with his part yesterday, but I haven't checked up on that. Mithman, Osmos, do you have an update on this? Do you guys know?
No, but we're expecting the PR like sometime today. He said like a day or two, so
Okay.
we'll ping him today to see what the state is with that and if there's anything blocking him.
So, if there is no issue with this, then we should have this on the KPI dashboard by next week. And then the big item, the actual CSAT survey for visitors, for users, is the next item on the list, on the roadmap. So we've done these other items before to get acquainted with the task ahead, because the other one is going to be a big one. We will have to translate the survey into the languages that we are operating on SUMO, and then we will have to send an appropriate survey based on the language that people have chosen on the page, and then collect the data and display it again. So that's going to be a big one. We still have more than a month left to get that done, so that's good. And it looks like from our schedule, from the Trello board, we're still on track. So that's good to know. Any questions or comments around this? And if not, we can move on to the specific bug discussions. Okay.
I pasted it in there. Yeah, sorry. I can wait for your explanation, or I can jump in.
Feel free.
I pasted the first one in there. This is something that is affecting most likely two other issues as well, so they're all linked from there. There was SAF1 fix might worked with SAF1 on, and this was merged, I think, on the. I'm not sure. It must be actually. Sorry, I should have checked it again, but I think it was merged last week. 10 days ago, sorry, yeah. So I'm just curious if the fix is going to go live at some point, or it's already live.
Yeah, I just checked, and it seems that hasn't been deployed yet, so we can do that today.
Okay, perfect, cool. That's as much as I wanted to know. Perfect. Thank you very much, Mike.
Okay, and we have one more bug listed here.
Is it the tooltips thing, the last one?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that one was me. So Lauren and I were, I think we mentioned this last week, we're talking about linking articles from the edit form. So she did work on some code, and we filed a bug for that. I wasn't sure it's not a high priority, but I wanted to make sure we were filing it correctly. Like, do we provide the code and someone will check it, or anything like that.
So I think I saw this bug, and it was a Dropbox link to a CSS file and an HTML file. Unfortunately, that's not terribly useful in terms of how we actually develop the site. Okay. Mainly because those, like that HTML page you were working with is a generated page that is built from many sources. So trying to find what you changed out of that would be rather difficult. Mm-hmm. If you'd like, we could walk you through getting set up with a typical development environment, so you could make that change in a little more structured way.
Or alternatively, maybe you can provide a screenshot of how it would look like compared to what it looks like today.
That I could definitely do.
Maybe that's easier than for somebody else to take care of. Sorry, Mike. It seems like a little bit. Unless you want to do more of this, I would say it's a little bit overkill to get all of the environment running just to do this. But if you want to work more on this, that would probably then make sense.
Okay. The only issue and the reason we had to create a Dropbox was because it wasn't just the HTML code; it was also some of the CSS. And I wasn't sure how to add two attachments to a bug because it was like I needed both the CSS file and the HTML file, and it was like only letting me add one file as attachments. I wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah, the way to get around that is you make one attachment and then you make a second attachment, and they both show up.
How do I do that? Because they were only like saying they were only actually letting me add one attachment per bug.
That's right. So you make one complete attachment and submit that, and then then you do that again, and it doesn't delete the old attachment.
So I file like 2 bugs, is what you're saying?
No. So you file the one bug, and then you add a comment to that bug.
Okay.
If you go to the page, the bug that you've linked from here, there is a button on that page. It says attach file.
Okay, like they're only letting me attach one file.
I think what they're saying, Lauren, is that you can go in and submit that attachment, and then that button will show up again saying add an attachment. So yeah, you kind of do it twice.
Okay.
But it sounds like the best way to do this is just provide a screenshot.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, unless there is something very specific in the HTML or in the CSS that you want to have in there.
Not really. It's more just.
On Osmos, feel free to correct me because you would know better. But I'm guessing unless it's something very specific in the CSS or HTML, a screenshot is just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Then I have one last item that I actually forgot to put in here. I would like to run a survey, or not a survey. I would like to run an experiment on Optimizely. This has just come up today on the survey that we have there, which is like we have the article survey where it asks, was this article helpful to you? And right now, if you click on no, we give you a survey and ask you more questions about why you didn't think it was useful. But if you click on yes, we just say thank you and that's it. David, what? Sorry, okay.
I'm laughing in agreement with, I think, what you're going to say next.
So David was saying that this might be actually a great opportunity to ask people or offer people to sign up for a survey, not a survey, sign up for a newsletter, essentially. Just offer them a newsletter because that's one of those things that we want to increase this year in the marketing organization, the opted-in relationships. And I was just going to go about, I just wanted to see if there is any potential in there. And what kind of what we can expect. So I wanted to do an Optimizely survey and just put a link in there to the survey, to the newsletter page where people can go and sign up, not do all the complicated stuff on our end and embed something, but just a link and say yes. When people say yes, this article was helpful, instead of just saying thank you, it would say, well, thank you, and if you want to learn more about Mozilla and get tips and tricks weekly, click this link to sign up for our newsletter. What do you guys think? Any issues with that? All right, and that's of course just a placeholder. It's an experiment because it would be way nicer if this is useful, if this is successful, if people actually click those links and follow up. It might be better to use the actual sign-up form on our end and have people be able to sign up right there instead of having to go to another page. But for the Optimizely experiment, it's just about trying to figure out what the expected value is here, like how many people do this actually. Okay. Do we have anything else that we should be talking about? Going once, twice. That's the platform meeting for this week then. Thanks everyone for participating, and I'll hopefully see you again next week. Take care and bye-bye.
Choose.